Hello everybody, Happy New Year, goals, good marks, etc.
And could 2019 give you the best?
100 years ago began the Roaring 20s. What a beautiful period.
Maybe these years will be as memorable as 1919.
To know it, we will present you the 10 main differences between this time and nowadays.
And then you will choose how wonderful these years will be.
Let's go with difference number 1. The 20s is a very beautiful period, a time of creation, of innovation, a time of liberty. And all this gives a jazz.
The main instrument is trumpets, contrary to the music of your time, as a rap without instruments.
The musicians are also very different.
Yes, in fact, Eminem is much more better than Louis Armstrong.
What? Are you kidding?
As music, divertissements were also very different. People went to the opera, to dinner, and mainly they danced.
At this time, young people danced foxtrot or charleston in clubs.
To the opposite, nowadays, teenagers and now some adults played video games during their free time and never get out.
During the 20s, women began to emancipate, and this emancipation was expressed through fashion. The dress in the hairs became more and more shorter. Women wore more makeup, more jewelry, and more heels. The flapper represents the 20s modern woman. Fashion continued to evolve and it arrived to nowadays clothes. In 2019, the fashion became more and more androgynous, and clothes are shorter and shorter than ever. The cinema also has evolved. In 1920, it was mute and a pianist was playing during the film to create an atmosphere. Now, all is informatized and special effects are incredible.
The actors are changing too. You can see the difference between Greta Garbo and Hardy.
And Angelina Jolie. But the most important revolution in the cinema's history was, without any doubt, the invention of popcorn. Hey, what are you doing?
I'm playing. Do you know the seven difference game?
Yeah?
Well, I am making a 7 comment point game between the 1920s mean of communication and 2019's mean communication, but I haven't found anyone. This phone was invented in 1876 by Alexander Graham Bell in 10 years. It is word everywhere in the world. So, in the 1920s, it was only the beginning of the phone.
This phone, XS, was created in 2018 by Apple. It's like the best phone of nowadays technologies, and it can do more and more, like a 19th phone can take photos, watch Netflix, etc., etc., etc. In 1920, education was not the same as now. First, girls and boys weren't together in class contrary to now. Classes became mixed partly because of women's emancipation.
As girls and boys were separated, there was different question for boys and girls. Boys were learning farming and girls housework.
So, boys' tests could be about eggs' time of incubation.
And girls' one could be about the way to cook pudding.
Now time, we are all together to study common things like mathematics or physics or etc., etc., etc. Since the Roaring 20s, science began to evolve, and some diseases could be treated more easily than ever.
The penicillin was discovered in 1928 by Alexander Fleming. This was antibiotic has 7 billion of lives.
Surgery also became more and more efficient. In 1970, the first blood transfusion was put into effect, but nowadays it exists a lot of medicaments who can save people from diseases which will be incurable before, like cancer or tuberculosis or etc.
And contrary before, now we can repair the brain damage. Well, I'm going to talk about of my preferred weapon era. So I begin with my favorite time, the Roaring 20s, where the weapon was the most beautiful and perfect like the Springfield or the Char Renault. But sadly, they are resistant and modern. Thanks to Frontai, I can tell you what are the most famous, like the Scare and the Hemses, the weapon of the Marine. But they haven't a spirit or a goal like before, where they were very important for the human. They had a very tall matter. That was my home.
During the 20s, technologies evolved a lot. A lot of things were invented, all in order to help women's emancipation and to win time.
In fact, as women began working at this time, they haven't any more time for cooking, for example.
Or for iron, like an iron. So the sliced bread was created to make quick meals as sandwiches.
Now the technology is developing next to microscope system as microfluidic, but also next to robot.
Last year, some robots can talk and express themselves. So maybe in 2019 there will be robots who can fly as Goldorak or etc, etc, etc.
And finally, the thing which changed the most between 1920 and 2019 is the people's attitudes.
To prove it, let's do a little test. We will ask questions about the savoir-vivre, as says the French, to few teenagers and teachers. Let's go.
During the Roaring 20s, when somebody invites you, you had to offer him flowers. But how many, which ones, and of which colors?
Some flowers, but I will sell the lily of the Nile with color blue.
Let's listen to Faustine.
During the Roaring 20s, when somebody invites you, you had to offer him flowers. But how many, which one, and of which colors?
It's a difficult question, but I would say maybe you could offer a bunch of 15 pansies. I think the colors don't matter as long as it's not red or something associated to patience.
Let's listen to Madame Wagner.
I think that the best is not to bring flowers, but the best will be to send flowers, and send flowers after the dinner, after the reception. And as flowers, I think it's spring or beginning of winter. I think that the best will be tulip. By examples, a very beautiful color, not too hard, perhaps white or yellow tulips. I think it will be the best because it's rather refined and not too much exuberant.
Our time travel is now finished.
We hope you enjoyed the trip with us.
If you have more questions, you can post it on our Facebook page. Thank you.
Thank you, bye.